Deep in the mist-covered mountains of southwest China, where ancient bamboo forests breathe with the rhythm of the earth, lives a creature so gentle, so quiet, and so deeply symbolic that its very presence feels like a whisper from a forgotten world. This is the life of a panda, a life of solitude, softness, survival, and silent strength. The morning fog settles softly against emerald hills. Dewdrops cling to leaves. The world moves slowly here. Amid this quiet landscape, a female panda named Mei Yun awakens from her sleep in the hollow of a large, fallen tree. At first, there is only stillness, until she gently lifts her head, blinks her round black eyes, and takes her first deep breath of the morning air. Her day begins not with fear, or urgency, or hunger, but with a calm acceptance of the simple truth that defines every panda's existence: survival depends on patience. She pushes herself upright, stretching her heavy body with a soft groan. Mei Yun is strong, powerful, even, but she carries herself like the forest itself. Slow, peaceful, unhurried, because in a world where almost nothing threatens her, she has evolved a lifestyle unlike any other large animal on Earth. Bamboo, the single most important character in any panda's story. For millions of years, pandas fed on meat, competing with other powerful predators of the ancient forests. But as climates changed and forests transformed, pandas made a quiet, extraordinary choice. They embraced peace. Slowly, they adapted to eating bamboo, abundant, predictable, but terribly low in nutrients. And so the panda's life became a life of endless eating. Mei Yun waddles toward a towering cluster of bamboo. She selects a stem with the delicate judgment of a master craftsman. With a swift movement, she snaps it with her jaw, a jaw powerful enough to crush bone, yet used only to chew plants. She eats for hours. And hours, and hours. A panda spends up to 14 hours a day eating, consuming nearly 40 pounds of bamboo just to survive. This slow routine isn't laziness, but necessity. Every bite echoes with evolution, every chew is a survival strategy, and every meal reminds us that even the mightiest creatures can choose peace over power. Pandas are solitary by nature. They don't form herds. They don't hunt together. They don't travel in packs. For Mei Yun, solitude is not loneliness, it is her identity. She wanders her territory with quiet confidence, marking tree trunks with scent to let others know, this forest is mine. Her world is small, a few square kilometers of forest, but to her, it is everything. She knows every rock, every stream, every fallen branch. This place is her sanctuary, her shield, her home. While other large animals fight endlessly for dominance, pandas avoid conflict. Their biggest battles are with hunger and habitat loss, not with each other, but there is one season when their solitary life changes. When spring arrives, the bamboo forests come alive with sound, birds calling, insects humming, leaves shaking in the soft mountain wind, and for just a few short weeks, pandas break their silence. The males begin calling out with strange bleats, almost like goats. Females answer with chirps and honks. The forest becomes a symphony of unfamiliar panda voices. For Mei Yun, this is the most important season of her life. She is ready to become a mother. Male pandas roam miles across steep hills and dense bamboo in search of females. And although pandas seem calm, mating season can be fierce. Males challenge each other with deep growls and loud trumpets, pushing and wrestling for the right to mate. Mei Yun chooses a strong, calm male named Bao He, a wanderer known for his patience and gentle strength. Their meeting is brief, but life-changing. Afterward, Bao He returns to his solitude. Mei Yun goes back to hers. Their bond ends, but a new life begins. Pandas are enormous animals. Yet when they give birth, their babies are the smallest of any placental mammal, just 3 to 5 ounces, pink, hairless, blind, fragile, a creature so small it barely resembles a panda at all. Months later, inside the safety of a rocky den, Mei Yun gives birth, softly, quietly, painfully. A tiny cry echoes in the darkness, then another. Twins, a common occurrence in panda births, and a heartbreaking one. Because in the wild, a mother panda cannot raise 2 cubs at once. She must choose one, not because she doesn't love them, but because she cannot physically care for both. Her heart makes the decision her body cannot escape. she nudges the weaker one aside. And devotes herself to the stronger cub, whom she names in her heart, Xiao Shan, Little Mountain. From that moment, every second of Mei Yun's life revolves around her child. She cradles him in her arms, never letting him touch the cold ground. She feeds him, warms him, licks him clean, protects him from the world. For weeks, she does not eat. She does not leave. She sacrifices everything for the tiny life in her paws. This is motherhood at its purest, and its most painful. Weeks pass, then months. Xiao Shan begins to grow. His fur darkens, his spots deepen, and his eyes finally open. He squeaks constantly, demanding attention. Mei Yun responds to every cry. When he tries to crawl, he tumbles. When he tries to climb, he slips. When he tries to explore, he gets lost behind a fallen log. But every mistake becomes a lesson, and every lesson is a step toward independence. By the time he is 6 months old, Xiao Shan transforms from a fragile pink cube of skin into a fluffy, clumsy, irresistibly adorable panda cub. He climbs trees with wild enthusiasm, often getting stuck and calling for his mother to rescue him. He rolls down hills like a soft snowball with ears. He munches on bamboo proudly. Even though he barely knows how to chew, his world is opening. And Mei Yun teaches him everything she knows. Pandas live peaceful lives, but the forest is not without danger. Leopards patrol the mountains, golden eagles circle above, and the biggest threat of all is the one Mei Yun cannot see: humans. For decades, habitat destruction has carved the forests into pieces. Roads, farms, and villages cut through the heart of ancient bamboo ecosystems. Food disappears. Safe spaces vanish. Pandas become trapped in shrinking pockets of wilderness. Mei Yun senses the danger in subtle ways: fallen trees where forests should be, distant machine sounds that do not belong, the smell of humans too close to her territory. She becomes protective, more alert, more fearful. One day, while Xiao Shan plays near a stream, she suddenly stiffens. A leopard emerges from the bushes, silent, calculating, hungry. Mei Yun charges with a roar so powerful it shakes the bamboo. The leopard retreats, not because Mei Yun is fierce, but because Mei Yun is massive. She wins without fighting. She protects without killing. She survives without violence. This is panda strength, silent, but undeniable. Pandas stay with their mothers longer than many animals, sometimes up to 18 months. But the day must come when Xiao Shan learns the hardest lesson of all: the forest belongs to individuals, not families. He grows strong, confident, and curious. Mei Yun knows he is ready, even if her heart is not. One crisp autumn morning, she leads him to the edge of her territory. There is no ceremony, no long farewell. She simply stops walking. Xiao Shan looks back, confused. He chirps softly, calling for her, but she turns away. With slow, heavy steps, she walks back into the forest alone. He must learn to survive on his own, just as she did. This moment, silent, emotional, instinctive, is one of the most powerful in the entire panda life cycle. A mother who gave everything must now let go, and a cub who knew only comfort must now face the world. Xiao Shan wanders through the forest, calling out, exploring, learning. He makes mistakes, many mistakes. But each one shapes him into the panda he will one day become. He claims his own territory, finds his own bamboo, discovers his own resting spots. Slowly, he becomes solitary too, just like his mother. Pandas are not warriors, hunters, or kings of the wild. They are quiet survivors, masters of living simply, peacefully, and gently in a world that is rarely gentle in return. Years pass, the world changes, and something remarkable happens. Humans, the same species that once pushed pandas toward extinction, begin working to bring them back. Forests are protected, bamboo reserves are created, breeding programs succeed. Communities join together to save a creature they may never see in person, but deeply love. Mei Yun grows older. Her fur begins to fade, her steps slow, her days quiet. But she does not know that far beyond her forest, millions of people celebrate her species as a symbol of hope. Pandas go from endangered to vulnerable. Their numbers rise, their forests grow, and their future brightens, all because the world refused to let them disappear. One peaceful morning, Mei Yun, now aged, wise, and calm, rests in her favorite clearing. A familiar scent drifts through the wind. She lifts her head. It is Xiao Shan, grown, strong, independent. He does not approach, because pandas do not reunite as humans do, but he pauses, for a moment, and that moment is enough. Mei Yun watches her son disappear into the bamboo, living the life she taught him to live, and she closes her eyes with quiet pride. This is not a dramatic ending. There is no climactic battle. No tragedy, no victory, just peace, the same peace pandas have carried for millions of years, a peace the world must protect, a peace that reminds us something profound. Not all strength is loud, not all survival is violent, not all stories roar. Some, like the story of a panda, simply breathe.